studies in ophthalmology. It was founded in 2008. The project really started because there was a need for post-residency training in Europe. And if you think about it, if Europe needs post-residency training, then obviously we too in Asia are in need of it. It is currently run by an independent Swiss foundation in a beautiful part of Switzerland known as Lugano. The province is Ticino, and is supported by the university, the city council, and the Swiss society. As ESASO, we are committed to the vision of growing into a leading institution for training for the benefit of all eye patients. That is our mission, really, as eye doctors, anyway. Our mission is to provide postgraduate education and disseminate new and effective learning, in-depth exposition of topics, face-to-face interaction, transfer of skills and knowledge to students, and hopefully in the future in Asia, hands-on wet lab and training laboratories. Over the years, we've had many ESASO students coming through our programs, not just in Switzerland, but throughout the world. Most students are post-residents between 35 to 40 years of age, and who complete modules or courses. You will see from this that you start off, after residency, you have modules, observership, and fellowship. So this program is actually more than just courses. If you attend 5 modules, you are eligible for the DISO, which is a diploma in ophthalmology awarded by Switzerland, and you can apply for a 1-year paid fellowship. And most of these centers are in Europe, and if you want more information, I'll be very happy to share them with you, and it's also available on the website. There are many alumni and graduates and faculty now. We are slowly building the ESASO Asia capability to provide modules which will lead to the DISO. This was a graduation this year. It was held in Europe, and you will see that there were 63 graduates between 2010 and 2016. Just a short word about fellowship, because I get asked about ESASO fellowships quite a lot. This is basically to enable young ophthalmologists who have completed their modules to have actual hands-on experience in the clinics. And 4 different types are available: the visiting fellowship, which is 4 weeks, a 4-week observership, the 1-year ESASO fellowship, and finally the clinical product development fellowship. So all these are available, the details are available on the website, and I can provide you more information if you require. The ESASO Lugano campus is here, just outside Milan, and there is a campus now in Dubai, in the Middle East, and of course in Asia, the ESASO campus is in Singapore. So the Lugano campus is, as shown in this picture, in Singapore it is housed at Camden Medical Center, and you can see how beautiful it is in Lugano with the mountains and the lake. Not different from Hanoi, you've got your own lake and you've got your mountains as well. So why an Asian campus? Well, it was decided that we need more people to know about this program and to benefit from it. After all, more than half of the world's population lives in Asia, and so we have a big burden of blindness as well. There are more than 25,000 ophthalmologists in Asia. The training standards, quality of care varies very widely. And in many Asian countries, after residency, there is no formal training. So we hope to help develop that aspect. And the Lugano program is very successful. We would like to share this with more ophthalmologists in Asia. We started in Singapore because we are well connected, we are accessible, we have the infrastructure, we are regarded as the Switzerland of the East, and it's really a melting pot for people from all over Asia. I think many of you have been to Singapore, and I would like to welcome you again. We are having the next Asia Pacific Academy of Ophthalmology Congress in March, from the 1st to the 5th of March next year, and I hope many of you will be able to enjoy some of the sights and sounds of Singapore. This is where I work, Camden Medical Center. This is where the Asia campus is headquartered. We have hotels that allow the courses to be run very efficiently. We started in Singapore in 2011 with our first module. We have learned a lot since that time, but you can see that we have very, very famous, well-respected faculty. For example, we have Stanley Chang, Bohak of Degree, Raj Azad, Lee Xiaoxin. In our second module, we also welcome Matt Oji from Japan, and one of our lecturers who is coming to this course, Professor Marco Zabin. In our third module, we have Francesco Bandello, who will join us this afternoon. He's already arrived from Milan. We have Neil Bressler, many of you know him from the DRCR network. Giuseppe Guanaccia is the overall executive director of ESASO. He has been instrumental in setting up ESASO and promoting ESASO. He sends his best wishes, but he is now in Kuwait setting up the Dubai school, the Kuwait course. So he can't join us in Hanoi, but he's very happy that we are here in Hanoi. The fourth module, we had other speakers you will recognize and meet. Dr. Paisan, who is one of our speakers as well. And then in our fifth module, we had Paul Mitchell from Sydney, Anat Lowenstein from Israel, Fumi Gomi from Osaka, Japan, Timothy Lai from Hong Kong. The sixth course, we had Gabriel Kostas from Paris, Alexander Brucker, you are familiar with him, chief editor of Bretner from the US, among others. This was our sixth course in China, in Shanghai. And next year we go to Beijing, again in China, with many of the distinguished faculty, Frank Holtz, Peter Kaiser, Ogura from Japan, Carlos Alvesio from London. So you can see that throughout our courses, we hope to introduce to you world-class faculty, very experienced and who love to teach. So I hope you take this opportunity over the next 3 to 4 days to ask questions. We keep the class small. More people want to join this course, but we have to limit it. And this time with 50, I think it's just right. Please do not be shy. You will see that on your tables, you have your headsets. If you prefer to hear the talks in Vietnamese, and if you want to ask questions in Vietnamese, please do so. Our lecturers can hear the English translation and be able to answer your questions. So this is really to encourage live and active participation. Our first OCT and geography workshop was in January, and we invited Giovanni Storenghi among other guests. This is our 9th course. It was August this year, and that brings me to this current course. I want to introduce our very distinguished faculty. Rupesh Agrawal from Singapore, Francesco Bandello from Italy, Lam Wai Ching from Toronto, Canada, and now from Hong Kong, Li Shuyan, Singapore, Lindell Lim from Australia, Nguyen Nu Quan from Vietnam, Dr. Nguyen Nat Chow from Hanoi, Vietnam, Ong Zi Guan from Singapore, Tai San from Thailand, Dorrit Wong, Singapore, and Marco Zabin from the US. So without further ado, I want to introduce the program. It is very tight. You will see that we have quite a lot of time given to each topic. And this is one of the features of ESASO. In-depth study, but with interaction. So if you don't ask the lecturer questions, he will ask you questions. So if you don't want to be asked questions, you better ask him or her more questions. So we'll kick off in a few moments with Lindell Lim. She is going to talk about posterior uveitis, Rupesh Agrawal, treatment of infectious posterior uveitis, then non-infectious after lunch, masquerade of uveitis, and then some imaging in the afternoon. Francesco Bandello will talk about imaging and OCT angiography. This is something new in retinal disease, and the management of diabetic macular edema and AMD. Some of the topics are a little bit mixed up because of their travel arrangements. Francesco Bandello cannot stay, and so on. So as we go on the program, you have all the programs in your pouches. We will have, of course, short breaks for tea and lunch. This is day 3 and day 4. So it will be very busy, and I hope you will feel enlightened, you will be engaged, and not feel so bored with the lectures. Right? If you need to, you can stand up, you can walk around if you want, but be engaged and ask questions. Just a few house rules before we start. I would request all your handphones to be put on silent. Now, this module, this course, will have an assessment. All our ESASOs have assessment. So pay attention. The questions will be easily answered if you have listened carefully to the talks. So the MCQs will be given on the last day, and then you will complete it, and we will give you your marks after you leave the course. All the slide handouts that the lecturers are giving will be given to you in a USB drive. So you do not need to copy everything. You can make some notes. You can listen and understand more. But most important, don't be shy. Please ask questions and participate in your discussions. And remember that you can listen to the talks in Vietnamese. So once again, I want to welcome all of you to this course. I hope it will be fruitful over the next 4 days. I want to thank the international and local faculty for making the effort to be here. And once again, thank you for your support of ESASO-Asia. So let us begin first by inviting Dr. Lindell Lim, and she will kick off today with her first talk. So thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the course.